Ciao friends and welcome to a new Unplugged video. In this video, I want to show you how I answer to one question that came out on one recent article. We published a recent article about how to show the top 3 products in a matrix alongside with an additional row that contains others. Others shows the sales of all the others rows, and it's a row that we create on the fly just in order to accommodate for this space. Now, I will not explain you the content of that video, so if you haven't seen the video about how to show TOPN plus others, go and look at that video, read the article, study the topic, because I will take for granted that you know the content. The thing is, among the multiple comments, one was interesting because the reader said that yeah, the solution works, but actually it does not work with cross-filtering. I cannot use others to cross-filter other visuals in order to show the other products. And he's right. Cross-filtering does not work in that specific solution. I was about to answer that no way, you cannot solve it. But then yesterday, while going to take sushi, driving, I was thinking, the question was circling in my mind, and eventually a possible solution came out. So today, I just turned on the camera and I will show you how I investigate on the solution. I'm totally not sure that the solution will actually work, and I have no idea how to write the code. So the video is not really about the solution, but about how I found the solution, how I investigate on whether the solution works or not, and the entire process of showing it, of finding the solution. Okay, that's enough for the introduction. Let's go straight to the code and see the problem. Now, the problem is here. Let me go straight. This is the article. The article is filtering the top products alongside the other products in Power BI. And the article shows how to build this visual. Where is the visual? Where is the solution? Okay, the article is about building this solution. Let me see if we can zoom in a bit. So, showing the top 3 products plus one row containing others. And everything happens in a matrix in Power BI. Let's get rid of my face there. Among the many comments, there is one, here it is, David. David that says, amazing video and article, thank you David. The only drawback is that the others doesn't work with cross-filtering. So if I click on one product in the matrix, cross-filtering happens, but if I click on others, it doesn't. If you click on others, then nothing is cross-filter. This is obvious why, but do you think there is a way to retain a cross-filtering functionality? Well, the quick answer is I have no idea. I was about to say no way, there is no possible solution to this. But maybe there is one. So let's start understanding the scenario. Let's get rid of the zoom, get rid of the article, and we need the file, which I have here. So we start from the file that was in the article, we start understanding the problem, and then we investigate on what the solution might be. As soon as Power BI wakes up. Okay, now this is the solution working. You see that I selected top 3. I'm seeing the top 3 products and others here. But I need to check cross-filtering. So first things first, we duplicate the page, rename it as test. And then I will need more space. So let me make it a bit simpler. We don't need this slicer. We can place TOPN here. And that matrix higher. We can also get rid of this, get rid of There's no way. Remove. Now we need the cross filter, so let me duplicate the matrix. And here we just put the product name from product name. And in the measure, we don't want sales amount and ranking. Instead, we want this sales amount. Looks like the microphone is moving today. And I also have some filtering here that I need to get rid of. Okay, so I have the top visual that is showing the top 3 products and the others row. And the bottom visual that is showing the grand total. Now, if I click on one product, you see that I have the same value here and here, because the filter, I hate, sorry, but I really hate tooltips. Mark always put them on. Okay. And I have tooltips also here, I guess. Go away. Thank you. So if I filter one product, the cross filter is working. If I filter Contoso Telephoto, I have only Contoso Telephoto. But when I click on others, I would like to see here the total of 5 million, so all the others rows. Instead, I do not see anything. What is the reason why this happens? The reason is the column that I have here is product name coming from the product names table. Product names is the additional table that I created in order to accommodate for others. So product names contains all the product names plus the others rows, and product names filters product. Actually, there are no products containing others as the name. Product others is an additional row that we created artificially in product names in order to show the row in the matrix. But there are no products with the name others. And that is the reason why when I click on others, nothing happens. If I click on others, there are no products to show. What I want to do is read this filter and filter this matrix so that when I click on others, this table show all the products which are in the others category. The ideas of David, well, they are not going anywhere. The reason is David is thinking about creating calculated tables or driving the query in a different way or changing in some way the query that is executed by the matrix. But there is no way you can change the query executed by Power BI. Cross-filtering happens entirely inside Power BI. You have no control over that. But the idea that came to my mind is, what if we use a calculation group? We can create a calculation group that reads the selection from the matrix containing others, and when others is selected, applies a filter to the entire product table showing only the rows which are others. That calculation group will be active only in the matrix that I want to fill the cross-filtering. If I'm able to do that, that will solve the problem, because the calculation item let me apply further filters doing nearly whatever I want. I'm totally not sure whether it will work or not. The main question that I have is this. When I click on a product, the filter that reaches this visual is the product name. When I click on others, the filter that reaches this visual is others. So product name equals others. If I get rid of that filter, others, I will immediately see all the products. But I don't want to show all the products. I want to show the products which are in the others categories for cameras and camcorders, or for computers if I select others in computers. That others is different than that others. There are two different others, even though they are the same others row in the product names table. So first I need to check the filter that happens when I click on others in this visual. And that can be done actually. I can investigate on the query executed here by using the performance analyzer. So I activate the performance analyzer, start recording, and when I click on others, it refreshed everything. I have the first matrix, the second matrix here. I can copy the query, and then external tools, we launch DAX Studio. In the right monitor, and this is the query that gets executed. Let me save some space. The query executed by the bottom visual contains a filter for TOPN, which I'm not interested. A filter cameras and camcorders and computer, which again is a filter there. We have the summarized columns that uses the filter, so we can put it here, get rid of this stuff, get rid of this, and only save the S filter 3. Okay, this is the query executed by my visual. And this is the filter that contains category and product name. To me, what is important is the presence of this category. That means that the filter here contains computers and others. Computers coming from here, others coming from there. So the filter context under which the matrix, the bottom matrix, is executed contains the category and the product name. If I get rid of the filter from the product name, I will see all the products in the given category. And I'm very lucky because product category is in the product table and product names is in a different table. If that was not the case, AutoExist would be a serious problem. I would never be able to see all the products because AutoExist would get rid of them. But here I see all the products because the filter on category and the filter on the product name, they are not on the same table. So I need to read the filter context, detect whether other is selected, and make that work. So let me explain you the technique that I am about to author. I create a calculation group. The calculation group will be called something like TOPN cross filter or stuff like that. When the calculation group is active, so the one calculation item from the calculation group is active, it will read the selection on the product names column. If product names contains others, it means there is a cross-filtering happening for others, and then it will apply a filter on the product table showing all the products that are in the others category for the current selection on the product. If that works, it will apply cross-filtering. I no longer need DAX Studio now. I need to create a calculation group that will be active only. I need to create a calculation group that will be active only in this visual. I need Tabular Editor to do that. Always take a while to open Tabular Editor. Here we are. And I want a new calculation group that we call TOPN cross filter. TOPN cross filter contains only one column, which is TOPN cross filter. And it has one calculation item that we call no filter. No filter, as usual, does not do anything. It just returns the selected measure. And then we need a new calculation item that we call cross filter. Here I will need to do something. I have no idea what this something is. For now, let's just call it selected measure. So I save it and process the model. I now have my TOPN cross filter here. And I use it only in this visual. So we add a filter. If we click on no cross filter, nothing happens. If you click on cross filter, again, nothing happens because so far we haven't done anything. The total here is 30 millions, no matter what I do here. It's, yeah, same as before, because actually we haven't done anything. Here I already have cross filter. It's time to write the code of the calculation group. Now, my calculation group needs to check if other is selected, and if other is selected, it needs to basically it needs to recompute the others content and apply that as a filter. Now we do have the content of the code already here. In this measure sales amount, we are computing if other is selected here. We are computing the visible products, we are computing the top products, everything is already here. So I can just take all this code, go here, and start playing with code. Probably some space is good to have. Okay. We don't need sales of all. We don't need to check if this is in scope. We do want to know how many products to rank. We don't want the sales of the current product, do we? We might want that. We for sure want to know if the other rows is selected. Okay. That is fine. If not, is other selected? So if other is not selected, then we return the selected measure. If others is selected, then we need to do some work. We need the visible products, and we use all selected product name, which is good. Well, actually it is not, because that will contain others. That will contain others. So we need to go for all here. Because if we use all selected, that will contain others. And that's not what we want. But we do that on all product names, so we get rid of the filter on the product name. I still retain the filter on anything else. Then we compute products with sales. To the products we compute the sales amount. Then we are not interested in the sales of the top products. I'm actually interested in the top products. So I want the top products, which is the TOPN of products to rank. So top products contains now the top n products, where n is the result of top n products. And actually, I'm not interested in the top products. Top products contains the product table, plus other columns that do not have lineage. I'm interested in the others. So I create another variable, others, which is except from all product of top products. I don't know why it complains, because it should work. Top products is a variable. Yeah. Now, if others now contains the others products in the given category, no, if you use all, that is not going to work. I need to get rid from visible products of the top products. It still says there is an error. And he is right. Visible products contains the product table. Top products contains multiple columns, so we need to get rid of this column. We can get rid from visible product. We actually want the product key, so we can do something more complex. Calculate table values of product key with the visible product. So we now have only the product keys, and we take the product keys from top products. That is going to be super slow, so it's probably better if we use a select columns from visible products. We take a product key, which is product key, and we do the same for top products. Okay, now we have the visible products, top products. We get rid from the visible products of the top products, and now we can use calculate the selected measure, applying others as a filter. I have probably too many parentheses. Let's see if the code formats. It does. So if others is selected, we just return the selected measure. That's fine. Otherwise, we grab the visible products, getting rid of the filter from the product name, which is good. So we get rid of the filter from the product name, keeping the values of all the products. We retrieve the products with sales, the top products. We remove from the visible products the top products, retrieving a product key. This product key is still product key, so it should filter the measure, the model, and then we compute selected measure with others. That should work. Let me save it. Now, if I click, this contains a filter that applies cross filter. If I click on Contoso, I see 257. If I click on others, I still don't see anything at all. Why that? That is interesting. Let me first check that I actually saved it. If I click on others, nothing happens. Why that? Well, this first of all needs to be a... Oh yes, I didn't remove the filter from product name. That might be that I need to remove remove filter from product names. Let's save it. Go back here. Okay, now if I click on others, well, something is happening. You see that we have the sales amount, which is correct. That shows Fabricam. Others shows only the grand total. We are not seeing anything for individual rows. So I would like to see the product. The total is already cool, because that means my calculation item is working, but I do not see any product. Why that? Okay, let's go back to the, oh, first, if I choose no filter and I click on others, I see nothing, which is exactly what I would expect. But if I click on cross filter and I select others, I see, and I select, no way, cross filter, click on others, I see 6 millions. I still don't see the individual product rows. That I think I cannot solve because it's in the product name. If, let's say, see what happens if instead of using here the product name, we put the year, I would expect this to work. If I click on others, it shows 6 million with different years. So the problem, what I guess, is that the filter on others is working on the product name before the visual happens. So at the total, I do not see anything. That I'm scared I will not be able to solve. Let's get rid of the year. Let's put again the product name. Click on others. I put the wrong product name. I want this product name. I'm messing up everything. Okay, I want the product name here. And on the bottom here, I don't want this product name, I want this product name. So when I click on others, I do not see anything. Now I need to inspect further. So let's enable again the performance analyzer. Start recording, refresh the visual, show me the second matrix. Copy the query. Go back to DAX Studio. Now, if I run the query, I only have the grand total. Now we have the filter on cross filter, the filter on top end, which now we need, the filter on cameras and camcorders and computers, the filter on cameras and camcorders others. Now this filter others is actually working already here, and it's not showing any product name because this others is filtering. Yeah, this others is actually filtering the product name. So I actually do not see the product names at all. I do not see the product names, but they are on two different tables. So I should see the product tables, the product names. Let me see what happens if I add another measure test, which is just one. I do see the product names. No, there is something different that is happening. The product names are visible. So there's something bad in my code. I get rid of the filter, I keep the filter, that should be a keep filters. Others. But it's not changing anything. Now, where is the problem? Well, one step at a time. We say that if I always return 1, that is working. So var result equal return return result. This is not going to change anything, but if I now return 1 and I save it, indeed, you see that I see the products here. So it's not a problem of auto-exist happening. When I click on others, I see 1 everywhere. That means I can show the product. There is a reason why I'm showing a blank when there is a product name selected in the current filter context. When others is selected and there is a product name, right, that's right, this calculate table values of product is not working. That should also do an all selected over product. So we get rid of the filter on the product, otherwise nothing is going to work. Let me save it. Oh, there I still have 1. Return result. Let me save that again. I said save it. Here we go. Now we have, if I select a datum as seller camera, I have this, and if I select others, now I have others here. So I click on others, and that shows 5617, which is the value here, and the value there, which is working. So you have seen it took a while, some reasoning, some thinking, but eventually we came out with a working solution. Let me just show you the code once more. So if you need that, you have it available. We check if other is selected, we compute the visible products. This all selected was needed because in the original visual we do not have a filter on the product name, but in the visual that we put below, where we want the cross filtering to happen, we do have a filter on the product name, and we need to get rid of it. And then we compute the products with sales, the top products, we get rid out of the visible products of the top products. What remains are others, and we use others as an additional filter. We remove the filter from product name, we keep the field, we apply the filter on others, we keep it with other filters in order to avoid showing products which are not in the top N. So we first remove and then we need to add the filter again, and then we compute the selected measure. What we need to do in order to make it work, we need to apply the calculation item TOPN cross filter to the visual where we want the cross filtering to happen. Now, next step is just more work, but it's time to go to a conclusion now. As you have seen, quite a bit of reasoning, but we came out with a working solution. Now, next step is answering the question, publishing the video, doing all the usual stuff. I think that the real takeaway of this video is that you cannot control what Power BI does, but you have calculation groups, and calculation groups gives you a very interesting insertion point that you can use to apply filters where filters are not expected. Of course, you need to pay attention. You need to know how to write a calculation group. You need to reason on top of row context and filter context. But the solution that I thought yesterday while driving for sushi actually works, and it's a good solution. I don't think it's worth an article by itself. The Unplugged video is probably enough for anybody who is interested in using cross-filter with the top-end filtering. Enjoy, DAX!